The Magic of Silence, written and published by Ngasline. In a world full of noise, there's a hidden skill that the most influential people have quietly learned: the ability to use silence wisely. This isn't just about being quiet. It's about tapping into a powerful state that comes when you stop making noise all the time, letting the universe communicate through your silence. The lost art of silence. In ancient times, silence was revered as a gateway to wisdom, spiritual enlightenment, and deep understanding. From medieval monasteries to Zen Buddhist temples, people actively sought periods of silence to connect with their inner selves and the divine. Indigenous cultures worldwide have long recognized the profound importance of quiet contemplation, incorporating silent rituals and practices into their daily lives and sacred ceremonies. However, our modern world has gradually stripped away these precious moments of silence. The Industrial Revolution brought the constant hum of machinery, and the digital age has amplified the noise exponentially. Today, we live in a world of perpetual sound. From the moment we wake up to our alarm clocks until we fall asleep to the whisper of air conditioners or the distant sound of traffic. Our smartphones ping continuously with notifications. Our offices buzz with conversation and equipment, and even our moments of leisure are filled with television, music, or podcasts. This shift away from silence has been so gradual that most people don't realize what they've lost. The average person now actively avoids silence, feeling uncomfortable or anxious when confronted with quiet moments. We fill every void with noise, whether it's turning on the radio while driving or playing background music while working. This constant noise has become our default state, making silence feel foreign and even threatening. The cost of this perpetual noise is far greater than most realize. Our minds need periods of silence to process information, consolidate memories, and make sense of our experiences. Without these quiet intervals, we operate in a state of continuous partial attention, never fully engaging with our thoughts or the world around us. This cognitive overload leads to decreased productivity, impaired decision-making, and increased stress levels. The social impact is equally concerning. The art of meaningful conversation has been replaced by surface-level chatter, with many people feeling uncomfortable with natural pauses in dialogue. We've lost the ability to sit comfortably in silence with others, missing out on the deep connections that can form in these quiet moments. The constant background noise also affects our ability to empathize and truly listen to others, as we're perpetually distracted by the sonic chaos around us. Even our physical health suffers from the lack of silence. Studies have shown that constant exposure to noise, even at relatively low levels, can increase blood pressure, disrupt sleep patterns, and contribute to various stress-related ailments. Our bodies and minds desperately need periods of quiet to repair and rejuvenate. Yet we rarely give ourselves this gift. The loss of silence extends beyond individual impact. It affects our entire society. Urban planning rarely considers the need for quiet spaces, and our architectural designs often amplify rather than minimize noise. Public spaces are filled with background music and advertisements, leaving few havens for quiet contemplation. Even our educational systems have moved away from silent study and reflection, favoring constant interaction and stimulation. Yet, hope remains. As more people recognize what they've lost, a growing movement seeks to reclaim the power of silence. Silent retreats are gaining popularity. Meditation apps are becoming mainstream, and some organizations are incorporating quiet time into their work schedules. This renewed interest in silence suggests that perhaps we haven't completely forgotten its value. We've simply been distracted by the noise of modern life. Rediscovering the art of silence begins with acknowledging its importance and understanding what we've lost. Only then can we take conscious steps to bring this powerful force back into our lives, creating spaces and moments of quiet in our daily routines. The journey back to silence may be challenging, but the rewards, enhanced creativity, deeper relationships, improved health, and greater inner peace, make it well worth the effort. The science behind silence. The human brain's relationship with silence is both fascinating and profound. Modern neuroscience has revealed that silence is far more than the mere absence of sound. It's an active state that generates remarkable effects on our neural pathways and overall well-being. When we experience periods of silence, our brains undergo significant positive changes that enhance our cognitive abilities and emotional stability. Research conducted at Duke University demonstrated that 2 hours of silence daily led to the development of new cells in the hippocampus, the brain region associated with learning, memory, and emotion. This process, known as neurogenesis, suggests that silence doesn't just calm our minds, but actually builds new neural pathways that enhance our mental capabilities. The study showed that while other forms of auditory input, including music, can have beneficial effects, nothing matched the power of pure silence for promoting cellular growth in the brain. The relationship between silence and stress is particularly noteworthy. When we experience silence, our bodies respond by lowering cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone that can wreak havoc on our physical and mental health when chronically elevated. A study published in the Journal of Heart Research found that just 2 minutes of silence can be more relaxing than listening to relaxing music, demonstrating that our nervous systems naturally respond to the absence of sound with a calming effect. Creativity flourishes in silence. When our brains are not processing external sounds, they enter a state similar to daydreaming, known as the default mode network, DMN. This state allows for enhanced problem-solving abilities and creative thinking. Scientists have observed increased activity in brain regions associated with self-reflection and creativity during periods of silence, suggesting that quiet moments are essential for innovative thinking and breakthrough ideas. The impact of silence on our stress response system extends beyond mere relaxation. Regular exposure to silence helps regulate blood pressure, improve sleep quality, and boost immune system function. These physiological benefits stem from the way silence affects our parasympathetic nervous system, often called the rest and digest system. When activated through silence, this system promotes healing, cellular repair, and overall physical wellness. Memory consolidation is another crucial benefit of silence. During quiet periods, our brains process and store information more effectively. This is why students often retain more information when studying in silent environments. The absence of auditory input allows the brain to allocate more resources to organizing, storing memories, leading to better recall and understanding of learned material. Perhaps most intriguingly, silence has been shown to heighten our sensory awareness. When we remove auditory stimulation, our other senses become more acute. This heightened awareness can lead to better decision-making, improved emotional intelligence, and a stronger connection to our intuition. Research has shown that people who regularly practice silence develop better listening skills and become more attuned to subtle environmental cues. The scientific evidence supporting the benefits of silence continues to grow. From enhancing brain plasticity to reducing inflammation in the body, silence proves to be a powerful force for physical and mental transformation. Understanding these biological mechanisms helps us appreciate why ancient wisdom traditions have long emphasized the importance of quiet contemplation. As we continue to discover more about the science of silence, we gain valuable insights into how we can harness its power for optimal brain function and overall health. Silence and self-discovery. In the depths of silence lies the key to unlocking our most authentic selves. When we strip away the constant noise, opinions, and influences of the outside world, we create space to hear our inner voice, that quiet wisdom that often gets drowned out in the chaos of daily life. This journey of self-discovery through silence is both profound and transformative. Our authentic voice exists beneath layers of societal conditioning, learned behaviors, and adopted beliefs. Through intentional silence, we can begin to peel back these layers and connect with our true nature. This process starts with simply sitting in quiet contemplation, allowing thoughts to arise without judgment or immediate reaction. As we practice this form of silent observation, we begin to distinguish between our genuine desires and those imposed upon us by others. The practice of deep listening in silence reveals insights that often surprise us. We might discover that career choices were made to please others rather than fulfill our own aspirations. We might realize that certain relationships drain our energy instead of nurturing our growth. These revelations emerge naturally when we create space for our inner wisdom to speak. Breaking free from external influences requires courage and dedication to silence. Our modern world constantly bombards us with messages about who we should be, what we should want, and how we should live. Through silence, we develop the ability to question these external pressures and find our own truth. This doesn't mean rejecting all outside input, but rather developing the discernment to recognize what truly resonates with our authentic self. The process of self-discovery through silence also reveals our natural rhythms and patterns. We begin to notice when we feel most energized, what activities bring us genuine joy, and what environments help us thrive. This awareness emerges naturally when we step away from the noise and allow ourselves to simply be present with our experiences. Silent reflection often brings up uncomfortable truths and buried emotions. It's essential to approach this process with compassion and patience. As we sit with these difficult feelings in silence, we develop a stronger relationship with ourselves and greater emotional resilience. This inner strength becomes a foundation for making choices aligned with our true values and desires. Our authentic voice becomes clearer through regular periods of silence. We might notice subtle shifts in how we communicate, make decisions, or approach challenges. Instead of automatically reacting based on conditioning or fear, we respond from a place of inner knowing and truth. This alignment with our authentic self creates a sense of peace and confidence that radiates into all areas of life. The journey of self-discovery through silence also reveals our unique gifts and purpose. When we quiet the noise of comparison and competition, we can better recognize and appreciate our individual path. This clarity helps us make choices that honor our authentic nature rather than forcing ourselves into roles that don't fit. Silent self-discovery is not a destination, but an ongoing practice. Each moment of intentional quiet brings new insights and deeper understanding. As we continue this practice, we develop a stronger connection to our inner guidance and a clearer sense of who we are beneath the noise of the world. This authentic foundation becomes our compass for navigating life's challenges and opportunities with grace and wisdom. The silent observer. In a world dominated by constant chatter and noise, the ability to observe silently has become a rare and powerful skill. When we learn to embrace silence as an observer, we unlock an extraordinary capacity to understand ourselves, others, and the intricate dynamics of the world around us. Silent observation begins with a conscious decision to step back from the continuous stream of reactions and commentary that typically fill our minds. Instead of immediately jumping to conclusions or forming judgments, we create space to truly see what's happening before us. This practice transforms us from reactive participants into astute observers of life's unfolding drama. The art of silent observation enhances our ability to read people with remarkable accuracy. When we're not preoccupied with formulating responses or asserting our presence, we notice subtle shifts in body language, changes in tone, and unspoken emotions that most people miss. We begin to recognize patterns in behavior, understand underlying motivations, and develop a deeper appreciation for the complexity of human nature. In social situations, silent observation reveals layers of interaction that remain hidden to active participants. We notice alliances forming, power dynamics shifting, and emotional currents flowing beneath surface-level conversations. This heightened awareness doesn't come from any special talent. It emerges naturally when we create space for quiet observation. The silent observer also develops a keener sense of timing. By watching and waiting, we learn when to engage and when to hold back. We recognize the perfect moment to offer input or take action, making our contributions more meaningful and impactful. This skill proves invaluable in professional settings, personal relationships, and any situation requiring social intelligence. Silent observation extends beyond people, watching to encompass our environment and circumstances. We become attuned to subtle changes in atmosphere, emerging opportunities, and potential challenges before they fully materialize. This awareness allows us to navigate life with greater wisdom and preparedness. The practice of silent observation also helps us understand ourselves better. As we observe our own thoughts, reactions, and patterns from a place of quiet awareness, we gain insights into our behavioral triggers, emotional responses, and deeper motivations. This self-knowledge becomes a foundation for personal growth and authentic living. To develop the skill of silent observation, we must first overcome our cultural conditioning to constantly participate, comment, and engage. This might feel uncomfortable initially, as silence often does in our noise-filled world. However, with practice, we discover that silent observation brings a sense of peace and clarity that active participation rarely provides. The silent observer learns to use all senses, not just visual observation. We tune into the energy of a room, the subtle shifts in conversation dynamics, and the unspoken messages conveyed through silence itself. This multi-sensory awareness enriches our understanding and enhances our ability to navigate complex social situations. Perhaps most importantly, silent observation teaches us patience. In a world that demands instant reactions and immediate responses, the ability to wait, watch, and understand before acting becomes a superpower. This patience leads to better decisions, deeper relationships, and more meaningful contributions when we choose to engage. The practice of silent observation transforms us from reactive participants into wise observers of life. It enables us to understand people better, navigate social dynamics more effectively, and make more informed choices in every area of life. Through this practice, we discover that sometimes the most powerful position is that of the quiet observer, watching and understanding as life unfolds around us. Strategic silence in communication. The art of strategic silence in communication is perhaps one of the most powerful tools we can master in our interpersonal relationships and professional lives. While many focus on developing their speaking abilities, the calculated use of silence can often achieve far more than words ever could. The power of the pause lies in its ability to create space for thought, emotion, and deeper understanding. In conversations, silence serves multiple purposes. When we allow moments of quiet after someone speaks, we give their words the weight and consideration they deserve. This natural pause demonstrates respect and signals that we're truly processing what's been said rather than simply waiting for our turn to talk. These moments of silence also give the speaker an opportunity to continue their thought, often leading to deeper and more meaningful revelations. The strategic use of silence in negotiations is particularly potent. When a proposal is made, immediate responses often come from an emotional rather than a logical place. By maintaining silence after receiving an offer or proposal, we create psychological tension that often works in our favor. This silence can make others uncomfortable, leading them to fill the void with additional concessions or information. It's human nature to want to break silence, and the person who can sit comfortably in it often gains the upper hand. There are specific moments when staying quiet yields the best results. During emotional conversations, taking a moment of silence before responding can prevent us from saying things we might regret. In professional settings, remaining silent when others are speculating or gossiping protects our integrity and reputation. When receiving criticism, a thoughtful silence followed by a measured response demonstrates maturity and emotional intelligence. The pause between words is equally important as the words themselves. Just as musicians understand that the spaces between notes create rhythm and meaning, skilled communicators know that the spaces between words and thoughts create impact and understanding. These strategic pauses give listeners time to absorb and process information, making our message more memorable and effective. Learning to wield silence requires practice and self-awareness. It means become comfortable with the tension that silence can create and understanding that this tension often works in our favor. It means recognizing that every silent moment is an opportunity for reflection, for the other person to speak, or for the situation to evolve naturally without our intervention. In group settings, strategic silence can establish authority and command attention. When everyone is speaking at once, the person who maintains thoughtful silence often becomes the focus of attention. Their words, when finally spoken, carry more weight because they've demonstrated the discipline to listen and consider before contributing. The power of silence in communication extends beyond face-to-face interactions. In written communication, the strategic use of shorter sentences and paragraphs creates visual silence that makes our message more digestible and impactful. In digital communication, taking time before responding to messages shows thoughtfulness and helps maintain professional boundaries. Mastering strategic silence doesn't mean becoming passive or uninvolved in conversations. Instead, it means understanding that effective communication is a dance between speaking and silence, between expression and reflection. By learning when to stay quiet, we enhance our ability to communicate effectively when we do choose to speak. This balance of silence and speech, when properly maintained, can transform our personal and professional relationships, leading to more meaningful connections and more successful outcomes in all areas of life. Meditation and mindful silence. The practice of meditation and mindful silence represents one of the most transformative ways to harness the power of quietude in our lives. When we think of meditation, many imagine complex practices or religious rituals, but at its core, meditation is simply the art of being present with silence. This presence opens doors to profound personal growth and inner peace that we often seek in the external world. Traditional meditation practices come in various forms, each offering unique benefits. Mindfulness meditation involves observing thoughts without judgment, allowing them to pass like clouds in the sky. This practice helps develop a deeper understanding of our thought patterns and emotional responses. Transcendental meditation uses mantras to achieve a state of relaxed awareness, while walking meditation incorporates mindful movement with silence. These different approaches share a common thread. They all utilize silence as a gateway to greater awareness. Creating a daily silence ritual doesn't require hours of practice or special equipment. Start with just 5 minutes each morning, finding a comfortable spot where you won't be disturbed. Focus on your breath, feeling the natural rhythm of inhalation and exhalation. As thoughts arise, acknowledge them gently and return your attention to your breath. This simple practice, when done consistently, can dramatically shift your relationship with silence and yourself. The beauty of mindful silence lies in its accessibility throughout the day. While stuck in traffic, instead of reaching for the radio, embrace the quiet moment. During lunch, eat in silence occasionally, paying full attention to the flavors and textures of your food. These small moments of mindful silence add up, creating a more centered and peaceful existence. As you develop your practice, you'll notice subtle changes in how you experience the world. Colors might appear more vivid, sounds clearer, and emotions more manageable. This heightened awareness comes from training your mind to rest in silence rather than constantly seeking stimulation. The practice becomes a refuge, a space where you can reset and reconnect with your inner wisdom. Mindful silence also enhances our ability to respond rather than react to life's challenges. When we cultivate inner quiet, we create a buffer between stimulus and response, allowing us to choose our actions more consciously. This space becomes invaluable in personal and professional relationships, helping us navigate difficult conversations and decisions with greater clarity. The integration of meditation and mindful silence into everyday life transforms routine activities into opportunities for growth. Washing dishes, walking to work, or waiting in line become chances to practice presence rather than sources of frustration. This shift in perspective allows us to find peace in the midst of activity rather than always seeking to escape from it. The effects of consistent meditation and mindful silence ripple outward, touching all aspects of life. Sleep often improves as the mind learns to quiet itself. Creativity flows more freely when we're not constantly bombarded by internal chatter. Relationships deepen as we become more present and attentive to others. These benefits emerge naturally, not through force or effort, but through the simple act of showing up to silence day after day. Meditation and mindful silence are practices, not performances. There's no need for perfection or achievement. Each moment of silence is complete in itself, offering exactly what we need at that time. As we continue to explore and deepen our relationship with silence through meditation and mindfulness, we discover that the quiet we seek has been within us all along, waiting patiently for us to notice it. Silence in leadership. Leadership is often associated with charisma, powerful speeches, and dynamic presence, but the most effective leaders understand the profound impact of silence. Throughout history, remarkable leaders have demonstrated that strategic use of silence can be more powerful than words in building trust, fostering understanding, and making thoughtful decisions. When leaders embrace silence, they create space for others to contribute and grow. By actively listening without interruption, they demonstrate respect and value for their team members' perspectives. This practice not only builds stronger relationships, but also leads to more innovative solutions as diverse viewpoints are heard and considered. Leaders who master the art of silence often discover that their teams become more engaged, creative, and committed to shared goals. Silent leadership also manifests in the power of reflection. Great leaders understand that quick reactions and immediate responses aren't always the best approach. By taking time for quiet contemplation, they can process complex situations, consider multiple angles, and arrive at well-reasoned decisions. This thoughtful approach helps prevent hasty judgments and reduces the likelihood of costly mistakes. The practice of silence in leadership extends beyond just listening and reflection. It includes the ability to remain calm and composed in challenging situations. When faced with crisis or conflict, silent strength can be more impactful than reactive responses. Leaders who maintain their composure through silence often find that their steady presence helps stabilize their teams and navigate difficult circumstances more effectively. Trust, building through silence, is another crucial aspect of leadership. When leaders give their full, quiet attention to team members, they create an environment where people feel safe to share their thoughts, concerns, and ideas. This psychological safety is essential for fostering innovation and maintaining high-performing teams. Silent presence communicates more about trustworthiness and reliability than any amount of verbal reassurance. Decision-making quality improves significantly when leaders incorporate periods of silence into their process. Instead of rushing to conclusions or being swayed by the loudest voices, silent reflection allows leaders to weigh evidence carefully, consider long-term implications, and align choices with organizational values. This thoughtful approach often leads to more sustainable and successful outcomes. Leaders who master silence also become more attuned to nonverbal communication. In the quiet moments, they can observe body language, facial expressions, and group dynamics that might otherwise go unnoticed. This heightened awareness enables them to address underlying issues, resolve conflicts more effectively, and create stronger team cohesion. Implementing silence in leadership requires intentional practice and commitment. Leaders can start by incorporating silent pauses in meetings, creating space for team members to think before responding, and regularly scheduling quiet time for strategic thinking. These practices might feel uncomfortable at first, but their impact on leadership effectiveness becomes evident over time. The relationship between silence and power in leadership is particularly noteworthy. While some might view silence as a sign of weakness, skilled leaders understand that it often represents confidence and strength. The ability to remain quiet when others expect a response, to listen fully without defending or explaining, and to create space for others to step forward are all manifestations of true leadership power. Digital silence. In our hyper-connected world, the constant stream of notifications, emails, messages, and social media updates has created an unprecedented level of digital noise. This perpetual connection to technology has fundamentally altered how we experience silence and solitude. The concept of digital silence has emerged as a crucial skill for maintaining mental clarity and emotional well-being in the modern age. The average person checks their phone over 100 times per day, creating micro-interruptions that fragment attention and prevent deep focus. These interruptions don't just affect our productivity. They reshape our neural pathways and diminish our capacity for sustained concentration. The bombardment of digital information triggers our brain's reward systems in ways similar to addictive substances, making it increasingly difficult to disconnect and find genuine quiet. Creating digital silence begins with recognizing the difference between necessary connectivity and compulsive checking. Start by conducting a digital audit of your daily technology use. Notice when you reach for your device out of habit rather than necessity. Observe how different apps and platforms affect your mental state and energy levels. This awareness is the foundation for establishing healthier boundaries with technology. Implementing digital silence doesn't mean completely abandoning technology. It means creating intentional spaces of digital quiet. This might involve designating certain hours as tech-free time, turning off non-essential notifications, or establishing physical spaces in your home where devices aren't allowed. Many find that keeping phones out of the bedroom improves sleep quality and creates a natural sanctuary of silence at the beginning and end of each day. The practice of digital silence extends beyond personal devices to our overall information consumption. News websites, social media feeds, and email inboxes can create mental clutter that persists even when we're offline. Consider implementing regular digital fasts, periods ranging from a few hours to several days where you deliberately disconnect from non-essential technology. These fasts often reveal how much of our technology use is habitual rather than purposeful. The workplace presents unique challenges for maintaining digital silence. With remote work becoming more common, the boundaries between online and offline time have blurred. Setting clear expectations about response times and availability helps create pockets of uninterrupted focus. Tools like website blockers, time tracking apps, and scheduled do not disturb periods can support these boundaries. Social media deserves special attention in any discussion of digital silence. While these platforms can connect us with others, they often create a noise of comparison, validation, seeking, and surface-level interaction. Practicing digital silence might mean unfollowing accounts that don't serve your well-being, limiting social media use to specific times, or taking extended breaks to reset your relationship with these platforms. The benefits of digital silence extend far beyond improved focus and productivity. People who regularly practice digital disconnection report enhanced creativity, better real-world relationships, and a stronger sense of presence in their daily lives. The space created by digital silence allows for deeper self-reflection, more meaningful conversations, and a renewed appreciation for the simple pleasures of an unmediated life. As we move forward in an increasingly digital world, the ability to create and maintain spaces of digital silence will become an essential life skill. By thoughtfully managing our relationship with technology, we can harness its benefits while preserving the quiet necessary for deep thinking, emotional processing, and authentic human connection. Digital silence isn't about rejecting technology. It's about using it mindfully to create a life that balances connection with contemplation. Silence in relationships. The role of silence in relationships is both profound and transformative, yet often misunderstood. While many people associate healthy relationships with constant communication and dialogue, the thoughtful application of silence can deepen connections and create stronger bonds between individuals. Silent presence. The art of being fully present with another person without the need for words creates a unique space for authentic connection and understanding. In intimate relationships, silence allows partners to develop a deeper appreciation for each other's presence beyond verbal exchange. This quiet togetherness can communicate trust, comfort, and acceptance more powerfully than words ever could. Consider moments when you've sat quietly with a loved one, perhaps watching a sunset or sharing a peaceful morning coffee. These wordless experiences often become cherished memories precisely because they transcend the limitations of language. Active listening, which incorporates strategic silence, is crucial for building stronger relationships. When we truly listen without preparing our response or waiting for our turn to speak, we create space for others to express themselves fully. This form of silence demonstrates respect and validation, showing the speaker that their thoughts and feelings matter. Through mindful silence, we can detect subtle nuances in tone, observe body language, and better understand the emotional content behind the words being spoken. Silence plays a vital role in conflict resolution within relationships. When tensions rise, our initial impulse might be to defend ourselves or counterattack immediately. However, incorporating intentional moments of silence during disagreements can prevent escalation and create space for reflection. This pause allows both parties to process their emotions, consider different perspectives, and respond rather than react. A well-timed silence can diffuse anger, foster empathy, and lead to more constructive dialogue. The practice of holding space through silence is particularly valuable in supporting loved ones through difficult times. Sometimes, people don't need advice or solutions. They need someone to sit with them in their pain or confusion. Silent presence communicates solidarity and understanding without the pressure to fix or change anything. This form of emotional support can be more healing than any words of comfort. In parent-child relationships, comfortable silence builds trust and security. Children learn that they don't need to constantly perform or speak to maintain connection with their parents. This silent acceptance helps develop their self-confidence and emotional security. Similarly, in friendships, the ability to share comfortable silence indicates a mature and secure relationship where both parties feel accepted without the need for constant interaction or entertainment. Digital communication has made silence in relationships more challenging yet more valuable than ever. Taking regular breaks from messages, calls, and social media to spend quality time in silent presence with loved ones can help counteract the superficiality of constant digital connection. These moments of undistracted attention strengthen bonds and create space for genuine intimacy. Incorporating silence in relationships requires practice and mutual understanding. Partners, friends, or family members might initially find extended periods of silence uncomfortable or interpret them negatively. Open discussion about the value of quiet moments and gradual introduction of silent practices can help build acceptance and appreciation for this dimension of relating. As relationships mature, silence becomes a comfortable and natural part of spending time together, enriching the connection in ways that constant conversation cannot achieve. The creative power of silence. In our constant pursuit of inspiration and innovative ideas, we often overlook the most powerful catalyst for creativity: silence. The greatest artists, writers, and innovators throughout history have recognized the profound connection between stillness and creative breakthrough. When we allow ourselves to be enveloped in silence, our minds naturally drift into a state of enhanced creativity and deeper thinking. Silence creates the perfect environment for our minds to wander and make unexpected connections. In the absence of external noise and stimulation, our brains begin to access deeper levels of consciousness where original ideas reside. This mental space allows us to break free from conventional thinking patterns and explore new possibilities that might otherwise remain hidden beneath the surface of our busy thoughts. The relationship between silence and creativity isn't merely anecdotal. Research has shown that periods of quiet contemplation activate our brain's default mode network, a constellation of neural connections that come alive when we're not focused on external tasks. This network plays a crucial role in imagination, self-reflection, and creative problem solving. When we embrace silence, we give this powerful system the freedom to operate at its full potential. Creative blocks often stem from mental congestion. Too many thoughts, too much input, and too much pressure to produce. Silence acts as a clearing mechanism, helping to declutter our minds and create space for fresh ideas to emerge. By stepping away from the noise and allowing ourselves to simply be still, we often find that solutions and inspirations naturally bubble up to the surface of our consciousness. The practice of seeking silence for creativity doesn't require hours of isolation. Even short periods of intentional quiet can yield significant results. A morning ritual of sitting in silence for 15 minutes before beginning creative work can help set the tone for enhanced productivity and innovation throughout the day. Some creators find that taking silent walks or spending time in nature without distractions helps them tap into their creative wellspring. Silence also helps us distinguish between our authentic creative voice and the influences we've absorbed from others. In quiet moments, we can better hear our unique artistic impulses and original thoughts. This clarity is essential for creating work that truly reflects our vision rather than merely echoing what already exists. For those engaged in collaborative, creative endeavors, incorporating periods of shared silence can be transformative. Group brainstorming sessions that include intervals of quiet reflection often produce more innovative ideas than continuous discussion. This practice allows each participant to process information and access their creative insights without the pressure of immediate verbal response. The creative power of silence extends beyond the generation of new ideas. It also plays a vital role in the refinement and development of creative work. Taking time to sit quietly with a project, whether it's a painting, a piece of writing, or a business proposal, allows us to see it with fresh eyes and make more intentional decisions about its direction. In our digital age, finding silence for creativity has become both more challenging and more essential. The constant stream of information and entertainment available at our fingertips can easily drown out the quiet space needed for original thinking. Consciously creating periods of silence might mean turning off notifications, designating technology, free creative zones, or establishing specific times for quiet contemplation. By embracing silence as a creative tool, we open ourselves to deeper levels of inspiration and innovation. The quiet moments we cultivate become the fertile ground from which our most original ideas and meaningful work can grow. When we learn to trust in the creative power of silence, we discover that our most profound inspirations often emerge not from external sources, but from the rich, quiet spaces within ourselves. Healing through silence. Silence holds remarkable healing properties that extend far beyond mere relaxation. When we embrace quietude, we create space for both emotional and physical restoration that our bodies and minds desperately need in today's chaotic world. The healing power of silence manifests in multiple ways, affecting our nervous system, emotional well-being, and overall resilience. Our bodies naturally respond to silence by lowering blood pressure, reducing heart rate, and decreasing the production of stress hormones. This physiological response triggers our parasympathetic nervous system, often called our rest and digest mode, which is essential for healing and recovery. When we regularly expose ourselves to periods of silence, we allow our bodies to repair and regenerate at a cellular level. This natural healing process is often interrupted by constant noise and stimulation, but silence provides the perfect environment for our body's innate healing mechanisms to function optimally. Emotional healing through silence is equally profound. In quiet moments, we can finally hear and process our emotions without the interference of external voices or opinions. This emotional space allows us to acknowledge and work through difficult feelings, trauma, or past experiences that may have been buried beneath layers of noise and distraction. The practice of sitting with our emotions in silence helps us develop emotional resilience and better understand our psychological patterns and triggers. Silence also serves as a powerful tool for processing grief and loss. When words fail to capture the depth of our pain, silence provides a compassionate container for our suffering. Many people find that spending time in quiet reflection helps them move through stages of grief more naturally and authentically than forcing conversations or seeking constant distraction. The quiet moments allow us to honor our feelings and memories while gradually finding peace with our experiences. The healing properties of silence extend to our immune system as well. Research has shown that regular periods of silence can boost immune function, increase cellular regeneration, and even promote the growth of new brain cells. This biological response to quietude demonstrates how deeply our bodies crave and respond to periods of peaceful silence. By incorporating regular silent practices into our lives, we can support our body's natural healing processes and build stronger physical resilience. Mental clarity and cognitive healing also flourish in silence. When we step away from the constant barrage of information and noise, our minds can process experiences more effectively, consolidate memories, and make clearer decisions. This mental space allows for better problem-solving abilities and can help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. The quiet moments give our brains the necessary downtime to reorganize and repair neural pathways, leading to improved mental function and emotional stability. Building resilience through stillness is a gradual process that requires patience and dedication. Starting with short periods of silence and gradually extending them helps develop our capacity to sit with discomfort and face challenging emotions. This practice strengthens our emotional muscles and builds psychological resilience, making us better equipped to handle future challenges and stresses. The more we cultivate comfort with silence, the more we can access its healing properties during difficult times. Incorporating healing silence into daily life doesn't require dramatic lifestyle changes. Simple practices like finding a quiet space or 5 minutes of breathing, taking silent walks in nature, or creating designated quiet times in your home can provide significant healing benefits. These moments of peace allow both body and mind to reset, repair, and restore themselves to optimal functioning. The cumulative effect of regular silent practices creates a foundation for lasting health and well-being, supporting our journey toward wholeness and healing. Living the silent revolution. The journey of silence isn't meant to be a solitary endeavor confined to meditation cushions or retreat centers. Instead, it's about bringing the transformative power of quiet into every aspect of our daily lives. This silent revolution begins with small, intentional choices that gradually reshape our relationship with noise, silence, and everything in between. Start by identifying the natural, quiet moments in your day. Perhaps it's the early morning before the rest of the household wakes, the walk to get your mail, or the few minutes before falling asleep. These existing pockets of silence are your foundation. Rather than filling these moments with podcasts, music, or scrolling through your phone, allow yourself to experience them fully. Feel the stillness, notice your breath, and observe your surroundings without judgment. Creating a personal silence practice doesn't require dramatic lifestyle changes. Begin with 5 minutes of intentional quiet time each day. This might mean sitting in your backyard, finding a quiet corner in your office, or simply turning off all devices during your lunch break. As you become more comfortable with silence, gradually extend these periods. You'll notice that silence becomes less of a practice and more of a natural state of being. The workplace offers numerous opportunities to implement silence. Before responding to challenging emails, take a moment of quiet reflection. When faced with important decisions, step away from the noise of opinions and data to listen to your intuition. In meetings, practice strategic silence by waiting a few beats before speaking, allowing others to contribute and ideas to develop fully. Your home environment plays a crucial role in this revolution. Consider designating certain areas or times as quiet zones. This might mean having a silent hour in the evening when all devices are turned off, or creating a dedicated space for quiet contemplation. Share your journey with family members and invite them to participate in their own way. Children, especially, can benefit from learning the value of quiet time early in life. Building a community of quiet wisdom doesn't mean finding others who never speak. Instead, seek out people who understand the power of intentional silence and thoughtful communication. This might involve joining meditation groups, attending silent retreats, or simply connecting with friends who appreciate meaningful conversation interspersed with comfortable silence. The silent revolution extends beyond personal practice to influence how we move through the world. Notice opportunities to choose quiet over noise in public spaces. This might mean turning off your car radio occasionally, finding peaceful walking routes, or seeking out nature spots in urban areas. These choices not only benefit you, but also contribute to a more peaceful environment for others. As your relationship with silence deepens, you'll discover that it becomes a form of activism, a gentle rebellion against the constant noise and stimulation of modern life. Your presence and practice will naturally inspire others to question their own relationship with silence. Share your experiences when asked, but remember that the most powerful testament to the value of silence is living it. The silent revolution is about creating sustainable change that enhances rather than disrupts your life. It's about finding balance between engagement and withdrawal, sound and silence, activity and stillness. As you continue this journey, you'll discover that silence isn't just an absence of noise. It's a presence that enriches every aspect of your existence, creating space for growth, understanding, and genuine connection with yourself and others.